Today, I'm going to talk about living in Weston, Florida, and I'm going to get started now. Hey everyone, my name is Jamey Prezzi. I'm a real estate agent in Miami-Dade and Broward counties. I work with my husband, Ognjen Prezzi, and our team. Today, I'm going to talk to you about living in Weston, Florida. I'm going to go over some information about the different areas throughout Weston, what you need to know, the different types of properties and price points. But first, before I get started, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another update. We do put out new videos every week. Also, use the link in our information box and download our free relocation guide. All right, let's get started. All right, so let's talk about where Weston is located. Weston is located in western Broward County. It's bordered by, you can see the Everglades, this green area here, and it's connected to Fort Lauderdale, Davie, Plantation, and Sunrise to the east. This interstate turns into Alligator Alley. It serves as a primary access corridor linking Weston to Miami-Dade County to the south and beyond. And beyond, this way going west would be directly into Naples, Florida, which is on the west coast. And just to kind of give you an idea, it's about an hour and 30 minutes west of Weston. So even though the Florida kind of peninsula gets a little bit smaller as it goes a little bit further south, that's how close Naples and Weston are to each other. Some people, I'm sure, drive to Weston and work and vice versa every day. So these areas are very connected. This area here is sort of, I would say, the break between Miami-Dade and Broward. Broward is the northern part here and Miami-Dade is here. This is Miami and Miami Beach, and this is the Miami International Airport. Weston is a master plan city in western Broward County. It's known for landscaped roads, parks, sidewalks, biking paths, and shopping centers. It offers a very different setting from more denser parts of Miami-Dade or coastal South Florida. It is a very different area from sort of the coastal city parts of South Florida. And people usually decide to live there because of the property type, the budget, the commute, HOA structure, and how the location fits your regular routine. What is it like to live in Weston? Well, a lot of the streets are very landscaped. They have really nice entrances. There's a lot of lakes and waterfront lots, parks, walking paths, biking paths, community pools, and recreational amenities. There's convenient access to I-75, I-595, and the Sawgrass Expressway. One of the main trade-offs, I would say, is living in Weston is it is very far west in Broward County, and it's far north, to Miami-Dade. So the trade-out, although you might have this beautiful home and this beautiful neighborhood and this gorgeous planned HOA-style community, you are definitely a little bit further away from Miami Beach and the coast. I mean, maybe that's not important to you, but for some people, they want to be closer to the coast. Important considerations before buying in Weston. Choosing a property, buyers really should consider your commute frequency and destination, access to highways, HOA fees and restrictions, property age and condition, insurance requirements, roof and major systems. We talk about all this at a buyer consultation, but if you're looking at properties that have 30-plus-year-old roofs and you need financing, you have to be very, very careful about that. Weston is great, but sometimes it doesn't work for everyone. And like I always say, it's not better or worse than any other part of South Florida. It just simply functions differently depending on the property, the location, the budget, and your day-to-day routine. The best way to evaluate it is to compare actual homes, review association information, test the commute, as I say, test it on a Tuesday, and determine how the location works for your priorities. Community access in Weston. Now, this is a really big thing, and some people do not like this, and some people love it. So it really just depends on your preference. But Weston includes a mix of controlled access and open access residential neighborhoods. Access configurations vary throughout the city. And when I mean access, I mean very common access types in Weston are staffed guarded gates, electronic gates, private entrances, master community gates. Weston also has some open access neighborhoods. Open streets, though, do not necessarily mean there's no HOA involved. So even though there may not be a gate at the front of the community, it could still be considered an HOA neighborhood. And because of that, it's important to know that if it is still open and doesn't have that HOA feel, it could still be in an HOA community. So there still could be association fees, architectural rules, maintenance requirements, and community amenities. While comparing neighborhoods, it's very important to focus on the property type, their budgets, their rules, their amenities, community, and daily routine. The reason why I talk about this is because sometimes people do not like it when their friends have to check in every single time they want to come visit them. Sometimes some communities are a little bit stricter than others. Many of these HOA style communities, they have a resident entrance and then a guest entrance. Some of them are easier than others. Some of them actually have someone there. Some of them do not. You might have to, put in some code and it goes to some call center and you get in. So all of these HOA communities function differently depending on how those neighborhoods are set up. If you are buying where they have HOA fees and community rules, it's just very important to, again, find out what is going to be covered within those fees. The other day we were driving through Weston and there were trucks everywhere because it was lawn day and they were cutting the grass of all the homes in that neighborhood. So listen, for me to live in an HOA style community where they're taking care of the landscaping, that's a plus. But some people, they don't want that. They want to do their own landscaping and go by their own rules for how they want to have their yard maintained. Some of these services may include clubhouse access, community pools, facilities, private roads, exterior maintenance, roof maintenance. Some of them do include roof maintenance, cable, internet, or common area insurance. And some properties may have both a master and a separate neighborhood association fee. So for example, let's say you're in a huge master association, but then there's like a separate neighborhood. There could be two fees because you have to pay for your master association fee and your specific neighborhood fee for your area. So before buying, you should always review the HOA budget, your reserve funds, pending or planned assessments, application and approval requirements, vehicle and parking rules. Now, this is a biggie. Some people are like, wait, I can't bring in my boat and park it in the driveway. No. I can't bring in my work truck and park it in the driveway. No. So these are the things that you really have to be careful about before buying in one of these HOA style communities, because they can really dictate the color of your mulch, the color of your house, the color of your roof, your driveway, the size of your driveway, and many other details. Also, they can have rules for leasing, pet policies. Again, I mentioned that before, gate and visitor procedures, and what other services are included in those fees. So listen, sometimes people love these types of communities because they really like what they get for their money. They like how things are organized. They like how they'll have all of these amenities. Maybe it's golfing and pool and pickleball and tennis and whatever else. And people like that. And a lot of people like that their landscaping is maintained. And many people like that all the homes have to look a certain way and have to be a certain color mulch and more. Just depends on your preference for how you want to live and the type of community you want to live in. But it's just important to know that in Weston, there's a lot of HOA fees and community rules. There's different types of properties in Weston. These are very broad ranges. This is not everything, but just so that you know, these are some factors that may affect the actual value. The community and the location, the gate type, the lot size, lake or golf course frontage, renovation quality, roof age, impact windows or shutters, insurance history, floor plans, pools, garage size, HOA fees, and assessments, and how they manage that association every single month. Single family homes make up a large portion of Weston's housing inventory, and the available features can include 3, 4, and 5 bedroom layouts. There are 1 and 2 story homes. 2 story homes are not super common in Miami-Dade, but you can find a lot more 2 story homes in Broward. Lakefront lots, cul-de-sacs, private pools, guard-gated communities, golf courses, larger lots renovated, and original condition homes. Many Weston homes were built from the late 80s through the early 2000s, depending on the neighborhood. And because of the age of some of these properties, you really have to look beyond the cosmetic renovations and get a good review of the roof, the plumbing, the electrical, the HVAC, windows and doors, water heater, pool equipment, and insurance-related upgrades. These are really important to pay attention to when you're actually looking at properties, because if you know that the roof is already at the end of its life and you need financing, it's going to be hard to get financing because it'll be hard to get insurance. And if any of these systems are off, that will go on the 4-point report, and that can create an issue in order to get insurance. Again, buyer consultation discussion to go super deep, but it's just really something important to know. Another thing to know is that when these properties have all of the impact related features with the proper stickers and everything can be approved, then you can get a really good discount on your insurance. All right, let's talk a little bit about pricing in Weston. It will really depend on the property type, the community, the condition, the lot, the HOA fees, and recent improvements. But condominiums, the approximate pricing is around $300,000 to $500,000. Townhomes, $450,000 to $750,000. Single family homes, a little bit on the smaller side, maybe around $650,000 to $900,000. Updated 4 and 5 bedroom homes, $850,000 to $1.5 million. Larger gated or waterfront homes, 1.2 to 2.5 plus, and custom estate properties, 2.5 million to several $1 million. This is a general overview. Pricing can change all the time, but this is just kind of an idea to give you an idea about the pricing in Weston. This is a really important thing to know because people do go to Miami all the time from Broward County. So I just wanted to show you some destination areas where people may go and give you an idea about how long it might take to get there. So from Weston to downtown or Miami, in light traffic, about 40 to 50 minutes, heavier traffic, 60 to 90, the airport, 35 to 50, heavier, 50 to 75, Miami Beach, about an hour, Fort Lauderdale, 25 to 35 minutes, a little bit heavier traffic, an hour. It's just because we have a lot of traffic here. Fort Lauderdale Airport, this is really important to a lot of people. That airport in Fort Lauderdale, we use it all the time. We use it probably as much as we use the Miami airport. So, and we travel a lot for family, for work, for my son's soccer. We go to Croatia all the time. So the international airport in Fort Lauderdale is great. All right. Well, I hope that you found this helpful. This is just a quick overview of living in Weston, what you can expect for the HOAs, a little bit about pricing and the location. My name is Jamey Prezzi. This is my husband, Ognjen Prezzi. We are real estate agents in Miami-Dade and Broward counties. You can find us online on Instagram at the Prezzis. And if you have more questions, we would love to chat with you. We will see you soon.